This is us. This
In the
is us.
flesh, baby.
We exist.
We're not just
Really
a
us.
voice.
Doc
still
and
got
boxer. Still got, and I just turned 40. 40 is the new 25.
Yeah, he's still a youngster.
Yeah.
All right, guys, welcome to Doc and the Boxer. A couple of exciting announcements. We are now on YouTube. Check us out, Doc and the Boxer. Subscribe, press a like if you like what you hear. If you have any comments that are constructive, we'd love to hear it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the
and
Doc.
never talking negative about a fighter, like he's a bum or he's this, because anyone that ever gets in the ring deserves so much credit.
Absolutely. So we're trying to keep everything positive. Try to keep the comments positive and constructive, and we got a lot of respect for the sport. So we want to show respect by, not being a potty mouth.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying. So I'm the doc. I'm a chiropractor, doctor of chiropractic. Been doing chiropractic for 25 years. Took up boxing 15 years ago. Love it. Trained twice a week. Used to spar up until the age of 50, but still train now. And I treat a lot of former pros, and I treat currently a lot of amateur fighters and some of their trainers too. So I'm very familiar with injuries and boxing injuries.
I'm very much involved in the game.
Love the game, man. Can't stop talking about it. That's why we're doing this.
This is it. This is a great platform for people to voice their opinions in boxing and us to voice our expert opinions. We're experts.
From the inside and the out.
Mm-hmm. That's what's unique about this podcast, is that angle that we're going to provide for you guys.
Yeah, we need this dude's information from the inside.
And we need him as well.
Yep.
Together we're a team.
Yeah. Slip, pop, pop. Okay. Tell us about, give us your bio, buddy.
So me, I'm a two-time Olympian. I went to the Athens Olympics, Sydney Olympics. I was a two-time Commonwealth Games medalist, bronze and silver. I got ripped off bad and twice. Really, one was really bad. Anyways, Pan Am Games, I won a bronze medal. The Under-19 World Championships, I won a silver medal in Cuba. And I fought the Cuban in the finals.
Fought some big name guys that are big names now.
A lot of great fighters. Rigondeaux, some really great fighters.
Mares, you fought?
Abner Mares, fought him 3 times, beat him twice. Beat Juan Manuel Lopez 3 times out of 3 fights.
I don't know if that's such a big accomplishment.
Come on, man.
Okay, no, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you, buddy.
Give me this, man. Give me that. He was a world champion.
He was.
You can't take that from him.
Yep.
He had a lot of. He was propelled to do really well in professional boxing, but it didn't really pan out.
No, he did up until he met Ponce de Leon.
Ponce de Leon. And Ponce de Leon fought before too.
Wow, man.
That was a crazy fight. It was in Saskatchewan, and it was Canada versus Mexico, and I gave him 2 8 counts, and he lost a point because he kicked me and we got in a little skirmish, and I still lost.
Oh man.
In Canada, only in Canada where they'll rip your own fighters off.
So you can't kick in boxing?
No, it's not kickboxing.
Oh, man. By the way, check out, I've seen some of your fights on YouTube, of course. So check out Andrew, Sikh and Destroy Kooner on YouTube. Some great fights. I love that fight in England where you highlight knockout of that British fighter. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That's the only reason I started training with you, because of that knockout. Showed me you knew what you were doing.
That's how I show up to people. I'm like, really, I really boxed up. This is me. I'm boxing. It's real. Because there's a lot of other ones that a lot of trainers say they've done it. They haven't really been in the ring.
No, this is the real deal here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So,
buddy,
we got a bit to talk about.
Yeah. So the good big fight last night.
Yeah, what do you...
With Hurd.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
So
Julian Williams. Yeah.
A great fighter from Philadelphia, another Philadelphian fighter. Actually, today we're going to discuss a few topics that involve Philadelphia, the boxers from Philadelphia. We're going to speak about Bernard Hopkins as well, things like that.
Yeah, Danny Garcia out of Philly.
Yeah, there's a lot of good fighters.
Tough
from
guys.
Philly.
Rosado.
Yep, a lot of good fighters. So this fight last night, and Julian Williams being from Philadelphia, and he fought Jared Hurd. And Hurd is an outstanding fighter.
World champion, yep.
He was undefeated, 6'1", big, tall, 154 pounder.
19-0 was he?
He's just amazing. The record was, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's 19-0.
Okay.
Yeah, tough kid.
Really tough fighter, really good fighter. And this fight was in Virginia, and that's kind of, Virginia is like near his home.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a lot of fans cheering for him in that fight.
Right. He's from Maryland. Akokik, Maryland. He's 28. And Jared Hurd, he's 28 years old.
Yeah.
Is what I mean.
Yeah.
So he's relatively, it's a young, these guys are still in their prime, and their prime is around that age.
But, I just looking back at some of his fights, too, he takes a lot of punches still, and so he likes to fight inside the phone booth. He does,
and you saw the fight, that fight was in the phone booth.
In the phone booth.
A lot of rounds, right?
And he takes a lot of punches, he gives a lot back, and Julian Williams knocked him down in the second round.
Yes, he did.
Oh, man, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? One thing I like, Doc, sorry to cut you off, is because at the weigh-in, when they both weighed in with each other, and Julian Williams is only 5'11", and 6'1" is Jared Hurd, and Hurd is going like, when they're weighing, he's tall at him, consider like he has a good height. He's like, you can never underestimate anybody.
No.
David Goliath,
Yeah, and I mean, look at Canelo and Fielding. Canelo was much shorter than Fielding.
Yeah, but those guys were different caliber fighters.
Yeah, true. But it just for the height comparison. Sugar Ray Leonard, when he would in the face-off, if the guy was taller than him, he would stand on his toes.
Yeah,
and the guy wouldn't know because he's not looking down at his feet.
He's got to be considered one of the best fighters ever.
Sugar Ray Leonard. Absolutely,
one of the best ever.
Absolutely,
one of the.
I love that. Love the way he fought too. And again, we're in that nice. We're in that we've kind of come full circle from the 80s and early 90s. That the 147. Are such a deep, exciting weight class right now.
Yeah, the welterweight division definitely.
Yeah.
This one was more junior welterweight. It was 154.
154.
Yeah. And this division is really heating up as well, too. Is really heating up. And so anyways, Hurd, so he came into the ring with the Washington Redskins marching band. So they were playing. And then followed by, his brother, who's also a rapper as well, named Young Slick. There's a lot of these young this, young that. I don't know, I can't keep up. But he had his rapper brother come in, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And one Williams, he had to strip to make weight, so he had a hard time making that 154-pound limit.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that because he talked a lot of crap talking, shit talking, and you got to back that up obviously in the ring, but you also gotta be professional. And
yeah,
come
you
in
do.
On
you do. I never really understood how you cannot come in on weight.
Yeah, these are pros. Plus, they got teams working with them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so he had a little tough time making the weight, obviously.
Yeah, tough time making the weight, and that. But it didn't show in the fight because apparently he clearly won this fight. I mean, you watch it, Doc. I just saw highlights. But the scores are 116, 111, and 115, 112 twice. So that if you knocked out the champion,
Yeah.
you gotta really beat the champion to take his belt. So he clearly wanted the scores like that.
He absolutely did. I agree with, with the 115, 112. He was pretty dominant in the exchanges. There was a round, I can't remember which round, where Hurd was making his mark, starting to make his mark, but it just was, Julian didn't let him take that moment, and came back right away. And that's another thing. If a guy starts getting momentum, you got to stop that momentum. And that's what I respect also about Julian Williams. He stopped the momentum, any momentum that Hurd got, by immediately coming back with combinations and maintain that throughout the fight. And he deserves to win that fight.
And that's a key, right? Consistency, being consistently, throughout the whole fight. And I would say get weaker, to get stronger, not weaker.
What's that?
Actually, we forgot to mention that there's a big basketball game on tonight, and that's Toronto Raptors Game 7. I'm only bringing this up because I trained Kyle Lowry's wife, and she's a really good boxer. We're talking about Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. They're from Philadelphia, Kyle Lowry and his wife, and we work out twice a week, and she's a really good on the pads. She's
awesome.
Really hits hard, man. They're really good, and actually trained Kyle Lowry as well too in the off season last year. So
boxing's just an all around great way to train for any sport.
You know what, Doc? Like Kyle himself said when he came and trained with me, and then he was just like, wow, he felt it was like a different conditioning, right?
Yeah,
boxing is
absolutely.
And not to say professional athletes, professional basketball players, they're in fantastic shape. Boxing is a kind of different.
It's a different level.
Anaerobic capacity type of.
Absolutely. And the recovery is just a short minute recovery, which is not a lot really, but you got to recover, and then you got to get oxygen, lactic acid's got to get away from those muscles and quickly.
Yeah.
And then you got to get back going again and have a little bit of endurance over 3 rounds.
Because the lactic acid, that's what it slows you down.
Yeah, it causes pain in the muscles, slows it down, and you need oxygen to grab that lactic acid molecule and pull it away. And if you're not perfusing a lot of oxygen to the muscle, you're going to slow down and fatigue pretty quick.
Sure.
So that's what boxers have, is they're able to get oxygen into those muscle groups quickly during that minute of recovery, and then they're ready to go again. And that's a good sign of conditioning, is how fast you recover.
Right.
So boxers are at the high end of that.
Yeah. Awesome. And then so this is what Julian Williams said after the fight. He goes, and I like to always read quotes from what the fighters say after the fight, especially because your emotions are running high. You're speaking the truth.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Right? And he's just like, I'm just overwhelmed. This is such a great feeling. I outclassed him. I'm one of the best fighters in the world. Maybe I wasn't ready for the first title shot that he got, and that's what he's referring to with
Charlo?
The fight with Charlo.
Yeah.
And that was in 2016, Jamal Charlo. So then he goes, I'm one of the best fighters in the world. Maybe I wasn't ready for the first title shot. I took the loss. I took it like man, and the whole world doubted me. I went into this fight as a 5-1 underdog, and I won this fight. And 6'1" versus 5'11", height wise, right?
Right. So you got to look at a couple things. And number one is how much he improved in 3 years from 2016 to 2019. That's the first thing. Number two is mentally, not just his technique improved and his skill, but mentally his toughness, because that was a tough fight. Yeah. Even though it was 115, 112, those 3-round differences were still some of the rounds anyways, except for the the second round. Those were
Hurd
close rounds,
was
man.
one
They're
of the
tough
top
guys.
one of the top guys out there.
So that's 154. Any of the Charlo brothers come back and fight for that belt at 154?
Yeah, it's an interesting division. Like a lot of weight classes in boxing are really interesting, and Charlos are always dangerous, very dangerous. Good fighters.
Yeah.
A lot of good talent, man. A lot of good talent.
Yeah. So that's I'm wondering if one, because not long ago after Jarrett Hurd's last fight, I can't remember which Charlo brother, but one of them also, yeah, and he won. I think he even came in the ring after the fight, and he won. He wants to fight Hurd.
Yeah,
he was mouthing off and wants to fight Hurd.
Yeah.
Now that Hurd's lost,
they talk a lot. The Charlos,
yeah, they're pretty good
talkers. They talk, man. They talk. They're from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, so they got a little bit of that southern slang.
Southern.
But are they gonna? So now that Hurd lost, you think one of the brothers will come back to 154 and fight Julian Williams? He's got it for a belt.
The revenge.
And,
revenge my brother's defeat, my brother's honor.
Yeah.
You must revenge.
Right.
Right.
But I think he got the rematch.
Yeah, there's a rematch clause that he said he wanted to exercise immediately right after.
Yeah, which is fair because he's a top guy and he was undefeated up until that point. It was controversial too.
Probably be the same result, man.
Oh well,
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens. But anyways, the one thing we wanted to discuss today was just because of this fight. This fight was kind of like a segue into this part. And just like how Julian Williams was an underdog, and he was a 5-1 underdog, and that's pretty considerable. And and even after his first loss, when he lost, and he's 3 years later, he still came back and he just won IBF, IBO, WBA titles, and beat a great fighter in Hurd, and that just shows you and tells you the importance of not quitting just because something happens.
Yeah,
it's not like over. Like, just an example for me, I remember in the 2000 Olympic qualifier in Tampa Bay, and that was his first qualifier. And my first fight, I fought a Colombian fighter. You may remember that Yanni Perez. Yanni Perez. Do you remember him?
He sounds really familiar.
He was an IBF champion. I think he had one reign. Anyways, I beat him in the first fight. Then I fought a Puerto Rican guy, Carlos versus Said. He was very controversial, but anyways, I lost. So 2 weeks later, I had to go back to the next Olympic qualifier, and that was in Tijuana, Mexico. This is 2 weeks after I really felt I would qualify right away, and I felt I was one of the best fighters in my weight class.
Yeah.
And that loss for me in Tampa Bay, that was so demoralizing to me. But sure, right away I had to hop back on the horse and get on there because I had to be like, I can't quit. This happened to me. I didn't qualify here, but I gotta go. Next one I'm gonna win for sure.
Yeah, so it motivated you, that loss.
It motivated me tremendously. And one time I just remember the amount of how hard I trained when I got back, and I was like, you know what? I forget it. I gotta come hard, man. I gotta come and win this next qualifier. And things that I did was I always attributed boxing and like success in boxing and sport is visualization.
Yeah.
Because I used to write these things out, like I'm gonna qualify in Tijuana, Mexico for the Olympics, and I post them up everywhere in my house.
But give me an example of what you would actually visualize. Would you visualize like certain combinations and what you were gonna do, or you just visualize your arm in the air, like the ref holding your arm in the air at the end of the fight?
Great question.
What were you?
Yeah, all types of scenarios. All types of scenarios. You have to be realistic. You have to be. Yeah, of course you want to qualify and do this and that, but there's a possibility something may happen. You may lose again or something or whatever. You have to be prepared.
So how did you? So how did it go when you came back then for that?
So it was
Did
hard.
you win
It was,
every bout to
then
qualify?
then when I went to Tijuana for the
Tijuana.
my first fight, being an underdog, I fought Omar Navarez, and he was number 2 in the world.
He was fighting up until recently. Yeah,
he was number 2. And as an amateur, when I fought him as number 2 in the world, he won world championship, WBO. He was a flyweight.
I think he
was
lost
pretty good.
To Inoue, he actually fought.
Yeah,
Inoue.
he did.
Yeah.
He went to Japan.
Yeah.
And so everyone thought I was gonna lose this fight. Like, oh, this guy's number 2 in the world. Man, I shocked the world. I came
Nice.
there. I beat Omar Navarez. I beat him 4-1. The scores were close. I was smart. It was such a hostile environment in Mexico. You got another Spanish fighter speaking.
Oh
fighter,
yeah, that's tough.
And
the
it
Canadian dude coming in.
And you gotta that's the thing. Like Julian, in his fight, Julian Williams, and being an underdog, 5-1, just because people say that you can't do that, you can't do this, doesn't mean you listen to them. Don't even listen to them.
Yeah. I
listen.
I think that's what successful people in general do, is you don't listen to the naysayers. And then do you remember who you fought in the next round after that? Because that must have boosted your confidence.
When it comes to boxing, I especially my arm, I remember everything.
Yeah,
man.
I know, it's funny.
Then the next fight I fought Roberto Benitez, and Roberto Benitez he fought for USA. He's from New York, and he's a southpaw. He fought for USA, but he lost to Jose Navarro at 112. For the U.S. Championship, and he lost to him. So he defected, went to Dominican Republic. Didn't defect, but he just signed up for Dominican Republic.
Sure.
He represented them. I beat him. That was a big upset, too. Then I fought another guy from Venezuela, Alexander Espinoza, and I beat him easily. And then, so I go into the final, but I didn't even fight in the finals because it was like, I had a hard time making weight. And I've already qualified now. Gold and silver would qualify.
Oh, okay.
So I already qualified.
Right.
So I didn't. The next day, we actually a bunch of us that night, because we all qualified. A lot of us went. The Canadian team were the only ones where guys didn't even weigh in and go and fight that day. There was like buys, like 3-4 buys.
So you didn't fight in the gold medal round?
I just got I didn't fight. Went out the night before,
you were partying
chilled.
too much the night before.
Celebrated like we're going to Sydney Olympics.
That's
the Games
awesome.
of the Millennium.
That's awesome. Yeah, why risk?
Why risk it? That's what it was. Why risk it? Like whenever you fight and go in a boxing ring, you're always risking that you're something to happen.
Yeah.
Something may happen.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
So
it's dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how that went down.
Nice, man. And then it was off to Sydney.
Yeah, then it was off to Sydney, my first Olympics, and that was such a great experience. Like just being in the Olympic Village, like just with all these athletes. And the thing was, it's so funny because a lot of the guys on our team, like Mark Simmons or whatever, they'd always laugh because I always knew a lot of the athletes in the Olympics. Like I knew them. Like I know her. That's Martina Navratilova. That's dude. I used to point them out and tell people who they were. I was always a fan. Always a fan of the Olympic movement and sports and athletes and
that's awesome. That's an awesome experience. Very few people have experienced that as an athlete.
It was quite the experience. I mean, I could always remember walking into the stadium when they're announcing the countries alphabetically.
What an honor, man!
Oh man! And then there's 100-something thousand screaming fans, and everyone loves Canadians, right?
Yeah.
Around the world, but everyone loves us, and we're not like Americans, where they boo you and they love us.
I think we did well in that Olympic Games.
Yeah,
Canadians.
Yeah, I think
One guy got a bronze in the triathlon. I forget his name, but
they had Daniel Gali who was a wrestler. He got a gold medal.
yeah, that's amazing.
It was a great Olympics because it was in Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, I think we did. I remember we did well in Canada. Put some money into the athletes.
Yeah,
probably not the boxers, but
yeah.
all the
Well, they never do. Yeah,
good stuff.
It was quite the experience. I fought Algeria in the first fight, and I beat Algeria. Then I fought Thailand in the next round, Legion Ponlet, and this guy won the gold medal that I fought. And my fight with him was close. It was 11-7.
That's a close fight.
Yeah, and amazing. He ended up winning the gold medal. Legion Ponlet, that little, like a little Thai, like quick and fast and south by in and out. Man, like come and fight me, man. You know, and he just walked.
He was quick.
He was smart. Out. Then he started praying and like do all this praying stuff they do.
Yeah.
And all the Thais do that little
Muay Thai, especially Muay Thai. Yeah.
Yeah, the Muay Thai. They had that ceremonial. Yeah. They all bow.
Yeah.
He had the a big picture of the King of Thailand.
Oh yeah.
And he was waving that around the ring, King of Thailand. And then this guy Wijin Ponlin. So after he won the gold medal, so he retired right away, and they gave, like in those countries, they honor you big time. Like they give you, he got a lot of money. He got a bunch of money, like 1 point something million. He got a new house, new car, job in the police force. He's set for life.
Wow,
right?
Man.
But the one thing about that is because they don't have that many medals, anyways, right? So if we did that over here or USA or
whatever, we couldn't afford it.
Even though they do in the USA, they do a lot more than what they do for Canadian athletes. My thing always with that is like, to be honest, my thought on it is like, Summer Olympics is a real Olympics because it involves so many different sports, all the sports, and Winter Olympics is not really. It's more for the rich. I know that's right. But
I know where you're going with that.
But
skiing is an expensive. I understand.
They're all
skiing
expensive
is an expensive sport. Snowboarding is an expensive sport. Anything where you're going down a hill, it's expensive.
Yeah,
because you got to pay basically to get up the hill in the first place.
To play.
Yeah,
but I mean, not to say tremendous athletes, and we always do really well in that. And we do really well in the Winter Olympics.
Absolutely.
We're known as one of the powers.
Yeah.
Team Canada.
Gotta love it. So, back to that card. There was also that
Miguel
night Navarrete, or however you pronounce his name.
Miguel Birchlet.
Oh, that was the other fight. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But there was also
sorry. Yes. Navarrete.
Yeah. Navarrete. He's good, man. I like the way
Emmanuel
he fights.
Navarrete.
Yeah.
And
tough kid.
Isaac Dogboy. I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Their first fight was in December 8th. It was a beating. It was such a beating that why would a rematch be called this fight?
Okay, so that's interesting you say that, because also with the Belschultz or whatever his name is, he fought Vargas in the first fight. Yeah. He beat him down pretty good too. So why did both these guys get rematches? I don't understand. I don't think they...
Wait, I don't agree with you here for a sec. That for the Navarrete fight, Vargas. So sorry, it was Vargas and Birchlet. Their first fight there was competition. It was competitive, even though Birchlet clearly won. But Isaac Dogboy took a serious beating. In the fight,
and he got knocked out in the rematch too. Actually, he didn't get knocked. His
dad
stopped. Don't go out anymore.
Thank God. The guy. Okay, one thing is the guy. He's 5'2". From Accra, Ghana, 5'2", and he's fighting a 5'7" Mexican fighter. That's just a killer, man.
He is
a killer.
But I gotta disagree with you. I thought right from the beginning of the first bell in the first fight with Schultz, whatever his name is,
Schultz
against Vargas. I thought, even though Vargas has come back in the past and we've seen that happen, that's how we got the belt in the first place. But in this fight, this kid was younger, much stronger, and he was just looked like he was overpowering him in every exchange in the first fight.
27 years old.
Yeah, he's reaching his prime now. So he's a tough guy too, and he's big, he's strong. So, so why are they making these rematches?
Why? And that's top ranked. Bob Arum made that rematch with Dogboy and Navarrete. That Dogboy had no chance. Like at the time of the stoppage, Navarrete was ahead 109-99 on 2 judges' cards, and then 109-98. Dogboy is 20 now, falls to 20-2, 14 KOs, but Navarrete 27-1, 23 KOs. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Navarrete landed 314 punches, 215 which were power shots, and Dogboy landed 121 of 523.
No, I don't know why they made that fight.
Why would Dogboy and his father even take that fight? There's no way you're gonna win. There's no way. There's levels.
Yeah,
there's levels, and
I hope he got paid well. That's all we can say about.
Well,
that.
I don't even think I try to look for purses. But I don't think so. I don't think they get paid well because, first of all, the smaller weight class fighters.
Yeah.
Right? And even world champions, top guys, unless you're like over like in Japan making all the yen there, they're not getting paid a lot at all here.
I don't know. They take the same risk. Smaller gloves too, right?
They do.
I think they should. They're 8 or 10 ounces. Their gloves.
Yeah, they're 8 ounce. Anything 147 pounds and below.
Yeah.
They wear 8 ounce gloves. They're professional.
And
then 10 ounce for above.
Right. So they should be paid more.
Or
just equally. It should all be equal. It's equal risk.
And then women should get paid the same as men for sports and the stuff. Where do we draw a line?
Yeah, well, they're just not as exciting.
I didn't hear you.
We've covered that already.
Wait, I didn't hear you.
Episode 6, I think we covered that. Let's not go back there just in case. Because now people can write comments.
Let's bring that up and let's find that. And let me find it on Spotify.
No way.
So anyways, some other news.
Yep.
And just about Harold Lederman.
Passing away.
Harold Lederman. Pretty sad, 79 years old, and he's battling cancer. He was good. He was great to listen to. To be honest, I liked his unofficial scorecards, and I thought they were, most of the time, they're pretty good. He was pretty good. It wasn't too...
Man, if because I always score fights.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah, I liked his energy and stuff. Okay, Jim. Right.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta tell you.
Okay, Jim, I gotta tell you.
But, may he rest in peace, of course. But a lot of his fights I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
And there, again, he was HBO.
HBO, yeah. HBO. Unofficial commentary.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Talking about scorecards. So, I've seen some pro fights where they post the scorecards after each round, and the corner knows what the score is from round to round. And everybody knows.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think
good thing, bad thing. As a fighter, would you want that? Would you want to know as you're going round by round?
I think so, because at least it takes away from the possibility of there being some huge controversial decision or something like that. Yeah. You can see it unfold. And then the story, instead of being surprised at the end, and you're like, "What?"
But and also, I mean, some of the excitement out of the mystery of finding out, that anticipation is gone. But that's cool. Yeah. But do you think also, as a fighter, if you see that you're behind, you may be a little more motivated? Oh, I lost that round. Okay, I gotta come back harder.
I think so for sure. Yeah, if that happens, and then even for the guy winning, maybe takes his foot off the gas pedal a little bit because he knows I'm winning. like De La Hoya did.
I was just gonna bring that up.
He took his foot right off the pedal. Look at that, right
but I
off.
still thought he won the fight. I thought he had done it
I did
enough
100% thought he won the
Yeah.
fight. Yeah, same thing. I totally believe they ripped him off.
Yeah.
Don King had something to do with it. Don King, it Trinidad
That
fight.
was brutal.
Trinidad was his fighter.
Yeah, and he was a great fighter, Felix Trinidad.
Puerto Rico. He was good. He was good. He was really good.
Yeah.
Big puncher. People love knockouts. Manuel Stewart, rest in peace, always said it. He told Adonis Stevenson, knockouts sell. And that's what it was, man. Knockouts sell. Everyone loved Tyson. Everyone loves knockout punchers.
Yeah, true. Although we like the technical finesse guys now.
Yeah, for sure.
If the knockout comes, we'll take it. But
and you can't look for the knockout. The knockout, if it's gonna come, it's gonna come. I remember one time, dog, I was fighting this guy from England. That's that same fight where he knocked that guy out.
Yeah.
It was in like 7th round, and I hurt him, and I had him hurt, and I'm like, I'm taking him out. Bang, bang, bang. I started throwing all these punches. I punched myself out. I didn't have anything left.
Yeah.
And luckily the bell was just about to sound. Because I was like, I couldn't, like, my coach would always say to me, this is inappropriate. Don't blow your load.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
Okay. He used to say that. Bill Grant, much love.
Depends on the context. But you were going hard to the body on that guy. I remember that fight, too.
Yeah.
And I think that was what was bringing his hands down finally, and then you knocked him out.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah. Set it up.
Yeah.
Set it up. Boxing is not just go in there and just let's fight. It's methodical. And that's what you love, that aspect of boxing. That's what it's all about.
Strategy, planning ahead for later rounds. That's what makes it so beautiful.
Pernell Whitaker, all that stuff. It's always really nice, right?
You know, they just showed on ESPN. They do classic fights now, and they showed the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight.
Oh yeah.
And again, like you just see how cool, calm, and collected Mayweather is, even when he's under pressure and backed in the corner. He still didn't take a lot of punches in that fight.
No.
And the score was fair. It was a fair score.
No, it was totally fair, man. That fight was, but it was boring. That fight was boring, man.
It was.
But you know the controversy with that fight is Pacquiao knew he had an injury.
Right.
He didn't disclose it.
Yeah, so that's
a risk of having the fight canceled.
Right.
Because look at they made so much money off that fight.
Yeah, but you gotta sign. Just before the fight, you got to release if you have any injuries. And he didn't do that. I don't know if he paid a fine or if there is any consequence to that, but I think there should be.
Yeah.
Maybe not a fine, but they got to prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
Because that's A, you get excuses. B, you don't get a product, and if you're paying $75 or $80 for that pay-per-view, you're kind of being cheated.
If you're a promoter and stuff, you promote this guy, and you're injured. I don't even know about it. And this is one of the reasons that I attribute to your loss. Well, you didn't really have to be honest, you didn't really have a chance against Mayweather. Mayweather is too good for him. Pacquiao, but actually, speaking of Pacquiao, his fight with Thurman is confirmed. They're fighting 100%.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
I know you hate predictions.
Sometime Thurman. Sometime.
That doesn't mean he's not a really high level boxer because he's changed to sometime Thurman. You know me, I'm a big fan of Thurman.
I'm just looking for
if that fight happens, like you say, it's going to happen. I think Pacquiao's in over his head.
Yeah, no, it's happening. 100% it's happening.
You know, Thurman's movement. Thurman's got good footwork. His movement. He hits hard. He's smart.
Sorry. What did you say? Like, so you think?
I think Thurman takes that fight.
He did, yeah.
I know you don't like making predictions.
No,
I do.
I agree with you on here.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to be a knockout, but he's in against a young lion. I don't think he's going to win. I think it could be. He'll take a few rounds, but Thurman is. You know, Porter is as quick as Pacquiao is now, because I think Pacquiao's lost some speed. Porter comes forward. Porter puts pressure, constant pressure. And that's why I think, Thurman he can handle pressure with his footwork and his lateral movement. I think he's going to have a real tough time. And I think he's not going to be so eager to get inside Pacquiao once he gets hit with a few hard punches from Thurman, because Thurman's got some power. So I don't see that going. I see it a very risky fight for Pacquiao. I'm not sure what they're thinking.
I'm trying to envision it, and just them two fighting in the ring.
Yeah.
And I actually can see, because I'm using my psychic ability right now, guys.
Yeah.
I can really see Pacquiao winning this fight.
Really?
Yeah. Because honestly, like, I know I've spoken to you before about it, that Thurman may have started declining. No, I'm not going to say the word declining, but it's not going to get any much better from where he's at now. Maybe he's going to start coming down, and basically put it this way, he's ripe for the picking right now.
He could be, because he only had one fight coming back with Josecito Lopez. But again, I think that fight there's a lot of ring rust. There was the time off.
For sure. And
you're testing the shoulder or the elbow, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I think now he'll probably feel more confident in Rise. But you're right.
Let's see. It can go.
I love it that fight's happening.
That's great, man. Pacquiao's got to be in a high caliber fight. This is probably going to be a pay-per-view fight.
But hang on, how did this fight happen? Because it's top rank, and it's a terrible Pacquiao imitation. Okay, it's not bad. That was good.
I love Pacquiao.
Jinky.
Jinky, I love Jinky.
But how is this fight even happening? Because it's Top Rank representing, promoting Pacquiao, and it's PBS. It's Al Heyman with Thurman. And remember what he
that's
said about
the Earl Spence and Crawford.
So if this fight can happen, that means that the Crawford Spence fight can happen.
Anything can happen.
Okay.
They've done it before. They've had like Tyson fight Lennox Lewis from HBO and Showtime coming together. So it's happened before, and they can. Money talks, man. If there's money in it involved, let's make it happen any way that we can make it happen.
But then we cannot hear any more excuses about it not happening for Crawford and Spence. Then if the promotion thing can happen, then that fight can happen.
Yeah.
And that fight needs to happen.
The thing is, because Julio Cesar Chavez said it before too, is like, if somebody really wants a fight, they're gonna get it. Like most of the time, for sure. I know his network's here, but I mean, he always said, if the guy really wants it, he's gonna push it so hard. Like, I'll be bothering you all the time. Like, let's fight, man. Let's fight.
Yeah.
Like Shannon Briggs, how he shows up and Patel.
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. Let's go. He's so annoying, man. That's
but you know
annoying.
what that "let's go, champ" is?
What?
It's not about. He's not saying to Klitschko. He wasn't saying that you're the champ.
Oh.
This is his way. I saw him on the Rogan podcast. Interesting guy, though. I really have respect for him on Rogan podcast. And he talked about, that's how he psychs himself up. That's how he gets himself in a positive frame of mind and overcomes, his trials. Is he's like, let's go, champ, telling himself he's the champ. Like a positive
I see. Pumping himself up, right?
Yeah. But there's a funny...
Good. That's good. Anyways. Well,
there's a funny...
It's annoying.
It's annoying to a lot of people, but... there's a really funny clip of Klitschko, California, stand-up paddleboarding.
Yes.
And he comes on
he goes rolling up there,
and creating waves, and Klitschko goes flying in the water. That is hilarious.
What does he do?
That's round one, man.
Hey,
he's promoting, self-promoting.
Good for you. You had your chance against his brother Vitaly. You got beat up.
Yeah, he
did.
And
put in the hospital and stuff.
He did. He had a great body shot, though. He was good at body shots, Shannon.
He was
a pretty tough dude.
He was alright.
And he's old. He's in his 40s or something now, too.
No, steroids. Look at the guy, man. Yeah. Like, he's been caught before with steroids.
Yeah.
Who knows? Let's not speculate. We're just throwing it out there in the universe.
Okay.
For y'all to.
Yeah, we got an earlier episode where we talked a lot about steroids too.
Yeah. And just like our thought of like in a sport like boxing where you can kill somebody and have an advantage like that can do some severe damage. So we're not for that at all.
Exactly, and even if it's like the steroids generally are the ones that give you that extra strength. The EPO is for endurance that they use, but that's also dangerous because normally guys fatigue a little bit. The power decreases a little bit, but some guys' endurance is just like
you're still going
and hitting just as hard in the 12th round as the first.
I remember,
and the other guy's a little fatigued.
Yeah,
that's when damage happens.
I remember like what my friend Trevor. Sometimes we used to go in the ring together and just hit the body and stuff. This is like recently, all the time he used to, and he'd always like joke around me. He's a funny guy. He'd always be like, "He's off steroids," because I kept bringing it like that.
Yeah,
Sometimes so you can't put that on somebody until you actually know if it's factual.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
Yeah.
So
and it's still innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Even though in these times seems like in the 2000s like you're guilty before you got to prove your innocence as opposed to they got to prove you're guilty. So we can't. It's just speculation. Yeah, especially in the U.S. But so it's speculation about certain dudes on steroids. But you're right. I'd rather wait, find out, see what the testing is, and then we'll make our conclusions.
So how we were talking about Philadelphia and Kyle Lowry and Kyle Lowry's wife and Bernard Hopkins and Philly fighters and Julian Williams with his big win on the weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're gonna just talk about Bernard Hopkins and so listen to this and this is really cool, man. I really respected Bernard Hopkins for how he's changed his life and my thing here is like, what did I write here, Doc? Oh, you need your glasses, eh?
I need my glasses.
Oh, shoot. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
It's not how you start, how you finish.
Yeah.
So Bernard Hopkins is among 5 others receiving honorary degrees from Temple University. He's going to receive a Doctor of Humane letter. I'm not sure what that is.
A doctorate of humane letter.
I'm not that
I think it's his contribution to like humanity.
Exactly.
Like he's done a lot of work for.
That's what they're saying. Yeah. So, awesome.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
And so Temple bestows honorary degrees upon leaders from many different backgrounds and fields of achievements that exemplify the university's ideals and mission. So they're really cool. So just a little bit about Bernard Hopkins. Bernard H. Hopkins. Do you know his initial was H? Hopkins?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, now you know. See it?
See, we learn a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, that's it. He's a former professional fighter. Bernard H. Hopkins grew up in Raymond Housing Projects in North Philly. His adolescence was marred by interactions with the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
Today, Hopkins uses those experiences to encourage the youth who are facing inner-city challenges to, quote, fight like a champion and be like a champion, quote. And that's very admirable. It's all about that. At the age of a little bit about him, and at the age of 17 and why he's so commended and so looked highly upon. At the age of 17, he received an 18-year prison sentence for strong-arm robbery conviction. Okay, he was exposed to boxing while incarcerated. After 5 years in prison, he pursued the sport of boxing. And remember how we talked about how if something happens, then don't give up and keep it's not how you just like. It's like look how important that is. That's important. Look at this guy, what he did here. He went to prison. He did 5 years, came out, and he pursued boxing, which he learned in jail in the Philly jail.
Yeah.
And then boxed, and then look at his career. Hopkins retired in 2016 after earning 55 wins and world championships in 2 weight classes. At the age of 49, became the oldest boxer in the history of the sport to win a world championship, right? So it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yeah.
During the last few years of his career, Hopkins became a minority partner with Golden Boy Promotions and is still involved with the company today. And he's still involved with the company today through philanthropy and mentoring. He's still involved with the community in Philadelphia and stuff, and that's amazing. Just very, very admirable.
Well, when you listen to him speak, also, he's a very intelligent guy.
He is.
And he thinks when he speaks.
He reminds me of myself.
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Thanks.
But yeah, he speaks intelligently. He thinks before he speaks. Very wise guy, intelligent guy. And he's also, what I do like about him in his later career, he talked about a couple things. He talked about what his ability to still fight was based on a couple things. One was his nutrition.
Yes.
So he always ate well, always took care of his body,
Always.
and in between fights, he didn't yo-yo his diet.
What a lot of fighters do.
Exactly. So always ate well and continues to this day too. And he also, as he got older, he did what's called age-appropriate training. So instead of running, which is tough on the knees, hips, and joints, especially when you're a little bit older, he stopped running and he did more swimming, which is way easier on the body, and you get crazy good endurance from that as well. So he was also very thoughtful about how he trained in that, hey, I'm not in my 20s anymore, so I can't train like the same way I did in my 20s. So he changed it up and changed how a 40-something-year-old would.
Train smarter, not harder.
Yeah, a lot smarter. So his body, going into a fight, he was even fresher and just as prepared as when he was running when he was in his 20s. So really admirable guy.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer. And a great fighter. Smart fighter, too. Right?
Yeah, he was always that nice. Had that nice defense. Didn't get hit a lot.
No.
That attributes to his longevity in the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Not getting hit that. I mean, mind you, used to come in with that head, and he used to.
Everybody complained about that.
Everyone complained about that. A bald head like that coming right in your face and everything, but
and he would set traps. Go back in the corner, have a set a trap, and bang.
I love his little tutorials that he does. Sometimes you ever see
on the Ring magazine?
Yeah. He
I love
used to do
those.
the Ring magazine one, and just the American Philly moves, Detroit, like a nice stuff. The art of boxing,
art of it, right?
Yeah,
right.
Like catching shots here, rolling, bang, bang, doing that, bang, bang.
Here he goes.
Like
see,
that.
Now he's got the video, so you guys get to see what he's made of.
Because that's what I used to do, even when we didn't have a video. I'd be like, right, Doc?
You're
talking, and I'm like, yeah.
I think that's what motivated us to get this on video.
Yeah. That's why I texted him earlier today. I'm like, make sure let's get the video going.
Yeah, he was in like a sweatsuit earlier.
Yeah.
And in the sauna to lose weight to look good for the camera.
Yeah, just losing that weight.
Good move.
I used to do that. Like sometimes when I go home, when I go back to Windsor and I see my dad, because my dad, especially my dad, he was always like, "Oh, look at you, you look like you're heavy. You're not training. You're not." Or whatever, right? So I go in the sauna, sweat it out and stuff, and then I drive all the way to Windsor, dehydrated as hell, and then, hey, Dad.
Is this what you wanted?
Look, he would never say, you look good, you look whatever. It was just whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, that was that generation
Tough
too,
love.
man. Yeah, exactly. They didn't want you to get soft, right?
Yeah.
Mentally or physically. So I think we've concluded everything on our program today, our episode. Again, this is our first inaugural episode. This is going to be on YouTube.
This is history right here, guys. This is a history in the making.
Save this puppy. And so subscribe if you like what you hear. In the comments, again, if you have constructive criticism, ways we can improve it, we'll listen to it and we'll keep trying to do better. And we got some fights coming up we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Got some heavyweight fights coming up. So stay tuned till next week, and we'll get into some of the fights that we've seen and ones that are coming up, and some other controversial topics in boxing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, guys. So that's it for today's episode, and y'all come back now. You hear?
We should play the theme music from the Beverly Hillbillies.
We should. But I'm changing up the song, eh? For the closing.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Because this is going to be a little bit different. Hey, I'm always representing Drake. It's Toronto. Yeah.
Although we may not be able to use this on YouTube anymore.
Oh,
we don't have his permission.
Oh, yeah, he's right. He's about to go to work. Without his permission.
We may need to change this up.
S-Class. A lot of class.
70s, baby. That's where it was at.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Ciao for now. We're out.